hope keepers, living to make a difference. And there's nowhere like this, no, there's nowhere like this. And I love and living low, 13. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. And the schools that I love and living low. I'm living local and it's everything to me. We are the believers, we are the hope keepers, living to make a difference. And there's nowhere like this, no, there's nowhere like this. And I love and living low, 13. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. And the schools that I love and living low. I'm living local and it's everything to me. We are the believers, we are the hope keepers, living to make a difference. And there's nowhere like this, no, there's nowhere like this. And I love and living low, 13. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. And the schools that I love and living low. I'm living local and it's everything to me. We are the believers, we are the hope keepers, living to make a difference. And there's nowhere like this, no, there's nowhere like this. And I love and living low, 13. There's nowhere.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of our elections coverage on 13 Now. I'm your host, Mia Bell Salzano. Today is Friday, July 3rd, and today we're talking with Bay County School Board District 1C candidate Mark Big Chief Strickland. Mark, thanks for being here.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
So can you just talk a little bit about, for those who don't know you, just a little bit about yourself, just introducing who you are and your background and your career?
Sure. I'm a mostly lifelong resident of Bay County. I live in Highland Park. I went to Highland Park Elementary School. I graduated from Mosley, so I've been in the district for a long time. We have about 150 years of teaching experience in our family, and my dad was a minister at Highland Park Baptist for 25 years, and I went to got an art education degree from the University of West Florida, the Harvard of the South, as we like to call it. But and then I have a degree in art education, like I said, and I've been involved in education for a long time. I started out working with my mom when I was 10, volunteering when working with physically impaired kids, and I have been married to my wife for 36 years. And I have two daughters, Gypsy and Carney, that are 15, and one's homeschooled and one goes to Mosley.
Okay, so you are running against an incumbent seat holder. And why did you decide to run?
You know, I never really intended to run. I felt like it was a calling. My father was a Baptist minister, and he was a preacher. I say pastor would be more like it, because he was a very shy man, but he felt called to be a minister, and he was one of those kind of guys that would listen to you. He got in to help people, and he wanted make everybody feel special, and he was one of those kind of guys who he went to visit you in the hospital. He married everyone. When you're there with deaths in the family, he was there for you, and so that's it's a calling, because up until 6 months ago, I never thought I would be here. But I started paying attention to what was going on in the district, and especially having kids. And my wife is a teacher, pre-K teacher at Highland Park Elementary School, special needs. So I felt like it was my calling and duty to step up and try to help the district.
And if you were to get elected this year, what would be your top 3 priorities going forward?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about that. Safe security and safety would be one issue that I would definitely want to pursue. And also, I'd like to see all the district get back to being an A district, and all the schools being an A district. And also, I'd like to see where, that all the employees in the district have a voice and that they matter. Sort of going back to my dad's, his motto, the district where everybody's somebody.
So how would you kind of go about bringing up the grades in the district to get them back to an A?
When I say bring it back up to A, I think the state grades the districts, but I think as a district, I'd like to see us, sort of self-govern and bring the schools back up to A. For our own benefit, we need to to increase each school needs to be an A school across the board. I just think that it'd be important for everybody to be on the same level of education and just meet every individual student's needs.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, is there a way that you envision or doing that, or do you have kind of a plan going forward that you would want to suggest as a school board member to kind of make that happen?
I really feel that kindness needs to come back into our district. We've got great support people. We've got great students and parents and teachers, and I think if we just show kindness and show everyone respect, I think that goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what do you think about Governor DeSantis' announcement about increased teacher pay, and how would you, as a board member, suggest that money be used and allocated?
Well, I really think it's great that he's done this. I think maybe the pandemic, we see how important teachers are and how important it is for parents and students, their lives, because it's teachers have been underpaid for a long time, but it's great that beginning teachers will make a starting salary around $48,000. Also, I'd like to see that he's given money for the veteran teachers, and the veteran teachers bring a lot of experience. For example, my wife's been teaching for 32 years, and she's at what the beginning teachers will make now. So we've got to make sure that we can compensate those professionals with all the years of experience equally. And I just think, we've got so many great teachers out there, and they're just dedicated. They're going to work. They're going to work no matter what they're paid, because that's what they've been called, and they're dedicated to the students.
Mm-hmm. And so over this past weekend, Superintendent Husfeldt sent out a memo about workshops for the pandemic and what options that students and teachers and parents might have next fall. And I know that come election time, those decisions would already be made, but as a potential school board member, what if you were part of those, hypothetically, if you were part of those workshops, what would be your suggestions, and what would you like to see come out of those workshops?
Well, yes, it's coming up Tuesday, I believe, on the 7th, and I'd love to see. We've got to definitely listen to professionals on this. I said it's been a lot of unknowns going on, and I see that through all this, the pandemic, that there's been some we've had some setbacks with the hurricane, and but I think it's sort of set us up for a great comeback. I said, because I see some kids have been thriving with virtual school, virtual learning, and then I see that a lot of kids need to be back in school. And to give you an example, I have twin daughters, Gypsy and Carney, and one is homeschooled and does virtual school, and she thrives with that. Now my other daughter, Gypsy, she loves school. She loves being around the kids and her friends, and the same with my brother. He's got 2 kids, and one thrives in school. My niece thrives in school, and the other one is he's loving the fact that he's able to do virtual school now, and he also gets to work with his dad and go on the road with him because they're in the music business. So he's going to be able to experience, you know, a world that other kids don't get to participate in. So I think it's, you know, there's a lot of good things that can come of it, you know.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, do you have any opinions or suggestions that you would be more partial to with bringing kids back into school? Like, how would you most want to see that process happen?
Yeah, I really, you know, I want it to be safe and secure, and I want, you know, the public to have confidence that their kids are safe, and that, you know, that you know, a lot of grandparents take care of their kids, and we got to make sure that the whole community is protected. So, you know, I hope we can get the kids back in school. I know that's optimal, having kids back in school, but we got to do it safely, and we got to do what the professionals recommend.
Mm-hmm. And so this community is really unique because it's dealing with the pandemic and still lingering effects from Hurricane Michael. It's kind of like a double whammy for the students. And I guess my next question is kind of, how do you plan to deal with the lingering effects of Hurricane Michael and the pandemic, and those effects on school enrollment and homelessness and mental health for students and parents and teachers?
Right. Well, mental health is, you know, a big thing. You know, we've had, I think the numbers are 1,000 students have been Baker acted, and there's, you know, right now they're all staying home and sort of on lockdown. And I think what's great that Governor DeSantis did was give, you know, we're going to have 90 new mental health professionals in our schools this year, which is great. I think we've always needed mental health professionals in the school, because there's so many, you know, there's so much trauma that goes on in the home, and when they come to school, it's a safe place for them, and they need, you know, mental health professionals that'll be there to help them work through all this stuff that we've been through with Michael and now the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I think that's all I have. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, I want to thank you for inviting me here. Like I said, it's my first interview as a candidate, and I especially want to wish my wife a happy birthday today. She's been teaching 32 years, and she's just been a great supporter of mine all along, and just want to wish her a happy birthday.
Great. Well, Mark, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And a very happy birthday to your wife. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you learned something new about Bay County School District 1 seat candidate Mark Strickland today. You can revisit this interview on mypanhandle.com's Your Local Election Headquarters tab on the Meet the Candidates page. And next week we'll be sitting down with loads more candidates, including the superintendent's race and the Walton County District 4 seat race. So if you have any questions you'd like answered about those races, you can email them to me at msalzano@wmbb.com. But that's it for today. I'm your host, Mabel Salzano. See you next time.
We are the believers, we are the hope keepers, living to make a difference. And there's nowhere like this, no, there's nowhere like this. And I love and living local, 13. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. In the schools, and I'm loving living local. I'm living local, and it's everything to me. We are the believers, we are the hope keepers.